All right. Good afternoon. How we doing today?
Great.
Good. Well, we're working hard, getting ready to go to Gillette Stadium here soon. So let's kick this thing off.
Coach, yesterday Patrick was talking about how because there could be unscouted plays and because sometimes they can throw things at you haven't seen, he's been looking at a couple of years worth of videos. So as the coordinator, what are you trying to prepare for when you got a coach like Belichick who seems to pull rabbits out of his hat that you haven't seen before?
You just got to make sure you guys are mentally prepared for any given situation that can present itself. Obviously, Coach Belichick has been doing it for a number of years. He's been doing it at a high, consistent level. So we always want to make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's and making sure also that our guys are aware. Pre-snap awareness is on top. They're on top of their game, but also making sure that they're just getting the extra film study because this is the type of team that never really wants to show you anything twice in the game.
Darwin looked really good last week, but the game was already in hand. What can you feasibly take away from those 11 touches?
I thought he did a heck of a job. You know, we've always known what he can do once he gets in the game. Now it's just making the most of the opportunity. And like I always tell these young guys, it's not about what you can do when the ball is in your hands, because he's a special and dynamic player when the ball is in his hands. More importantly, what value do you bring when the ball is not in your hands? Those are the things that we're really, grading him on and really paying close attention to.
Not necessarily talking about Sunday, but does he have what it takes to be a quote-unquote RB1 in this league? Maybe not Sunday, but Sunday, you think?
Well, I feel that. I mean, obviously, I like to think that I'm one of the official presidents of the short running back club. So with Darwin being in that short running back club, obviously I have high expectations of him. But the kid he has a dynamic personality and he has a great work ethic. So yes, he will be given an opportunity at some point. But right now, he's learning behind a number of great players. He's spending time in that room with Coach McCullough. They're doing a hell of a job. And the only thing he wants to know is how can he improve on the next particular play.
What do you see out of Spencer Ware so far, and then how much do you feel like he could be incorporated into the game plan on Sunday?
Well, Spencer's been with us for a number of years. He obviously was not with a team. We had an opportunity to contact him, to work him out, to see exactly what type of shape he was in. One thing I will say, he's mentally sharp. He knows our system inside and out. And one thing we'll do, we'll just play it by ear and see exactly how it's going to unfold on game day.
Yeah, I guess the time of year where there's starting to be some coaching vacancies, you had some opportunities last year to interview for a couple. I wonder, when you look back, what did you learn from that process, and how do you feel like you've better positioned yourself if that opportunity comes again this year?
Well, first of all, it's always a blessing, to be mentioned in that light. But one thing I do want to say is this, is my entire focus, and I'm not trying to shun you anything, has been on the New England Patriots. So it's hard to say, all the little things that it entails to interview. But one thing I will say, the only thing that you can worry about and control are the day-to-day things that present themselves. And the only thing that matters right now is obviously what we're going to do today with today's practice and how our players are going to perform. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to, is making sure that we're on top of our game for the Patriots.
This is probably a tough follow-up then if you're about the Patriots, but the league has a particularly bleak history in giving opportunities to African-American coaches on the offensive side of the ball who've come up from the running backs room or quarterbacks room, whatever. Has that, I guess, how have you grappled with that, reckoned with that throughout your career, that history? One
thing I've learned in life, you don't worry about the things you can't control. The only thing that you can control are the things that you can. And the only thing I do is just, I put one foot in front of the other, and I work, I chop wood, and that's all that matters. And when it's all said and done, with either something's good is going to happen with me, or something good is going to happen because of my work ethics.
Last year they were able to contain Patrick a little bit, but this year Patrick's game is a little bit different. He's matured in some ways. So what is it that, how different is he as quarterback as he faces this team? Because didn't they have like a spy on him every time he kind of moved? They had a guy running right with him. I mean, this year it's not the same in his game. So how different is Patrick, especially with a team that is so good at preparing for opposing quarterbacks?
Patrick he's been he's actually done a heck of a job throughout the entire season. He's smart. He's intelligent. He loves the game. He has a vision. I mean, he has a photographic memory that goes beyond anything that I've ever seen. But at the end of the day, Patrick prepares himself every single day for every single situation that can present itself. One thing I do know, Patrick's not only going to prepare himself in the building, but he's also going to take work home. That's the thing that stands out about him, because he'll come in talking about what he saw from last night on tape, from a game it could have been from a couple of years back. But at the end of the day, he just wants to make sure he's mentally prepared in what could possibly happen next. So, and he's spreading that wealth and that knowledge, and he also does a great job of over-communicating with the other players, because when it's all said and done with, we want to make sure that all of our guys are on the same page.
When you say photographic memory, like he has the whole playbook memorized, or he can remember a play from every game? I mean,
well, no. So let's say we're talking about play 8 in this last game, and we're on the sideline. We could have had a 16-play drive. Okay, so this is what happened. It could have been whatever play that we call. Hey, Pat, tell me about what you saw in this play. Oh, well, I saw the safety do this. This guy was in this particular position. That's why I didn't go there. But it's amazing. Then you look back at the little screens that we work with, and it's like, you know what? It's pretty impressive. It's exactly what he said and what he thought. And those are the things that are impressive. And when you have that type of vision, that type of memory, the sky can be the limit, especially at playing that particular position.
So is that why adjustments are so good? Because he saw the way they defended him that way, and he remembers that specifically.
Exactly.
And so when he's going through his progressions, he keeps that in mind.
He can apply it and say, you know what, the last time I ran this particular concept, hey, this guy was sitting in this area. I need to make sure that I'm aware of his alignment and what he's doing and how he's paying close attention to what's taking place on the backside.
And Eric, as a coordinator, what's your process been to sort of try to see the game through Patrick's eyes? Because I assume as a coordinator, to sort of really like quarterback a lot. How have you been able to do that?
You know what? You just try and make sure that we're doing the things that he loves to do and that he's familiar with. One thing we take a tremendous amount of pride in is not force feeding our players plays. And one thing at that quarterback position, yes, we give him the keys he has the keys to the kingdom. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that he's sound in what he's doing. And we structure it so he's able to function and play at the high level that is needed for him to be the successful player that he's become.
Eric, it seemed like Patrick was out of the pocket quite a bit against the Raiders, and I know some of those were called, but it seemed like some of them weren't. How much of an emphasis is it to try and get him to stay in there if the pocket's there, and just to try and hitch up and make the throw that way?
Well, at the end of the day, anytime we're calling a drop back pass, we want to make sure that we're protecting soundly, and you always want him to go through the proper mechanics of stepping up. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen, and sometimes you got to make a play or break contain. But obviously, if the pocket is clean, you always want your quarterback stepping up with the proper technique, with the proper fundamentals, keeping his eyes downfield, and making sure that he's making the right reads. Now, for whatever reason, what could have possibly happened? It could have been a breakdown, or he felt something, and so things have a tendency to happen. At the end of the day, we don't want our guys worried about possibly a mistake that they made. The only thing that matters is the next play, okay? Because in this profession, things happen, and we're okay with that. But when it's all said and done with, we want to make sure that our guys are playing at a high, consistent level for a duration of 60 consecutive minutes.
Have you seen the difference in how he's gone about doing things since he's had the ankle and the injury, about specifically to what Sam asked about stepping up into the pocket, that maybe he's a little more tentative because
he's the least tentative individual that I know. In fact, think about this. The kid, when he threw that interception against the Chargers, he tried to go make the tackle and strip the player. So there is no timid or hesitation in anything that he's doing. He's a fearless kid, and he plays the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.